Although being a vet is a very fulfilling career, it's also very stressful, and it may surprise this house to learn that vets actually have a suicide rate of around 4 times the national average. Now, I've long been determined to do something about this, so along with one of my good friends, Sarah Brown, we set up a support group for veterinary professionals which now has over 19,000 members. Now, unfortunately, my friend Sarah lost her battle of depression, and so I took her place as a trustee of the charity Vetlife, and we support the mental health of the UK veterinary profession. So not only does Vetlife have a 24-hour helpline for people who are struggling, but we also refer immediately anyone who is at crisis point of their mental health. Because I'm sure the whole house would be aware at the moment, if you go to a GP in a crisis situation, you may have to wait months or even over a year to get the specialist health care that you need. And I'm sure we all agree that that is not good enough.
Yeah.
We also know that it is not only veterinary surgeons who are at high risk of mental health issues, and there are other groups who need proactive support for their mental health. We have military veterans, women in the 12 months after giving birth, farmers, the LGBT community, and people who are struggling with debt. We know that living in poverty makes people vulnerable to the desperate cycle of payday loan companies and credit card debt, and not only does that put strain on family relationships, but it saps the joy from life, and it also contributes towards our mental health crisis. And my experience is probably shared by everyone else in this house who knock on doors, is that one of the most common subjects that is brought up are parents who are really struggling to access the mental health care for their children and teenagers, whose education and their social development was hugely disrupted by the pandemic. And this is something that parents are worried sick about. So I'm very proud that the Lib Dems have for years said that mental health should be treated with the same level of importance as physical health. And we're really heartened that the government reaffirmed this in the King's speech recently.